Go ahead, Carol. Go to war.
Thank you, sir.
Amo, you magnificent bastard, I read your book!
What's up, everybody? This is the War Room, and I am David Michael Corbett III, and this is Trent Ging joining me. What's up, Trent?
Not much.
You dropped on me 2 seconds before this that I'm hosting this show. Thanks, I appreciate that.
You're so welcome.
But yeah, all right. So this is the War Room. We're gonna go ahead and be looking at film on Rico Dowdle here soon. But first, we had some other stuff we wanted to get into. Mike McCarthy was on the Pat McAfee show. He's doing the coach's breakfast interview with the media. He's making his rounds, and boy, did he say some interesting things last couple of days that I thought that we both thought that we kind of need to talk about.
A little bit.
So I'm going to play the video. First thing we want to talk about is this comment about pro days. We thought this was an interesting run, so I'm going to go ahead and tee this up for you guys to listen to and watch, and we'll go from there.
With the scouts before we went to the combine, we took a lap through most of the positions. Didn't get to as many of the pro days as we had scheduled. We were originally scheduled to go to 6 of them. We just because of a bunch of other things moving around, we just made the one down there in Georgia. But yeah, we're very, very involved. And when we get back, we have our draft meetings, our final draft meetings with the coaches that we'll go through. So yeah, we've been working hand in hand, splitting our time. Not really splitting our time, probably 60-40 on, football, versus draft.
So what in the hell is all I got to like? That's my first reaction, bro. Like, you were trying to go to 6 and made it to 1.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened that you could only make it to 1?
So I know the one, and I can't remember which one they were supposed to go to, but the one that he did have that eulogy, well, I don't know, the celebration of life or whatever for the former coach that passed away. So I know he and others went to that, but that's one. Like, what happened to the other 5?
Right.
It's so weird. And Vaughn's saying it's a nothing burr. I get it. Not a lot of coaches do these pro days.
Well, Vaughn, I'm glad you're not concerned.
Vaughn is not at all. But
I am, because, like, what's going on? Like, for me, it's what kind of chaos is going on right now that you can't make it to these pro days? That's what I want to know. Like, I want to know, okay, so what happened that you're so – because here's my problem. It's not just Mike McCarthy. It's also Omar Khan is not going to any of this stuff either. Kind of important, the head coach and the general manager. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what the hell's going on? The only thing I can think of, and I'm really hoping that what this is that they really are getting away from the whole Mike Tomlin is the head scout, and we are literally going to rely only on the actual scouts that we have going to all these things, like watching all these kids. Like, I am hoping that's what's going on. I am hoping that we are going to a way where now we're not going to be so predictable in the draft, where we have it narrowed down to like 2 guys we know they're going to take. Most of the time is that we knew the exact guy they're going to take if he was there.
Usually.
So I'm hoping that that's what this is. But I mean, I've looked it up, man, and like, usually a lot of these general managers and head coaches are at a lot of these pro days. Like, it's not like Tomlin and Khan, and we'll say Colbert. We're not saying like they were the exception, not the rule. A lot of people are going to the, like, it's not like they were the only ones going. So it's very strange to me. Like, I don't think they it's like he didn't have enough time when he got hired to like do it, like deal with things, that he can't make it to these, right? Like, that's not what we're looking at here. I hope.
The weirdest part about, like, here's the thing for me. Like, I would be completely fine if you guys came out and said, listen, we trust what we see on film. we care about the medicals. We don't really care about football in shorts and a t-shirt. So we're not really worried about the pro days. We got a lot of medical information from the combine. We know about the guys that we really like and that we're targeting, and we don't need to see them perform at a pro day. Like, I'd be fine with that answer. But the fact that he said, well, we meant to go to 5 or 6 of them, and we made it to the one in Georgia, is like, what? Why? Like,
Yeah.
why did you only make it to one out of 5 or 6 different pro days? It's head scratching more than anything. I don't know if I mean, I'm not gonna go overboard and say like this is the biggest deal. It's the end of the world. Like, I get what Vaughn's saying and where it's coming from. Like, pro days kind of are a nothing burger for the most part, but it is a chance to like talk with the kids, and Tomlin used it to talk about future kids who are going to be coming up through the program, like stuff like that. So is that 100% necessary right now? Probably not, but like it just struck me as odd.
And he was talking about the 60-40 thing. I'm like, what are you trying to put out there, man?
Yeah.
Like, what are you dealing with that you're that busy? Like, I don't know, but it's also affecting Khan. That's my thing, is that it's also affecting Khan. Right. Maybe I'm just brainwashed watching Tomlin and Colbert and Khan, all these years, but I don't know, man. Just, it's just weird to me.
It was strange.
All right. So the next thing he said, and this is like a minute something video, but this is a pretty big deal. He made a big comments about Howard and how he feels. I was really kind of surprised because we keep hearing how he likes Howard, but we think it's all just smoke and mirrors. But man, I'm gonna play this for everybody, and you'll see that. Man, I don't think so. Here we go.
That year, he wouldn't have been around in the 5th or 6th round. I mean, I valued him higher than that based off Kansas State. And man, I thought he jumped out of the TV set during the college playoffs. I mean, what is there not to like about the guy? So I think he's definitely a real prospect as a starting quarterback. I believe that when he came out. I don't. So you can talk about his throwing mode. You can talk about some things throwing the ball. I think there's a lot of growth with his feet. Like a lot of these guys. The challenge I see in college football is so scheme heavy, and they're running these quarterbacks, and the schemes are diverse. There's not a lot of training in the footwork. So throwing the ball, and you got the best guy that probably has ever done it in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if you look at the way Aaron throws, I mean, just watch his feet. Watch the ground force, explosion that comes up through his feet, through his hips, into his throwing motion. So my point is there's room for development there. So I think there's a lot to work with. Will, I'm excited.
All right, so he's big on Will Howard.
I think.
By the way, that was Chris Adaminsky that had that video loaded up on Twitter. I wanted to credit him for that from the Trib. But dude, I was very surprised to see him go into that detail about why he likes Will Howard so much.
Yeah, I don't think he's blowing smoke. I think he actually genuinely likes Howard. I think he's probably looking at him in similar ways that what Gruden was talking about in the pre-draft process when Howard was coming out. Like, certain coaches, it's never a consensus. See, even though a guy may go late in the draft, it's never a consensus that everybody agrees with that same thing. Certain team coaches may have a guy higher, but their team need isn't there, so they don't draft him higher. You know what I mean? So him saying that he would have drafted him higher than the 5th or 6th round, I mean, maybe he had a 4th round grade on him. We don't know. But he clearly thinks there's a developmental side to Will Howard that he could be an NFL quarterback one day.
Right. It sounds like he's more focused on maybe working on his footwork. And it sounds like he wants Rodgers to be there for that because of how good Rodgers' footwork is.
Yeah.
And I was caught off guard by that. I thought it might be more smoke and mirrors, but no, he and you know what, dude? Like, the guy played at Ohio State. He played in winter weather. He's got the build, minus the hands. His hands, I don't think, are 10 inches or whatever. But everything else checks out. So, and like he said, he mentioned K-State. where this kid's also running like a deer for 470+ yard carries at K-State for touchdowns.
Yep.
So yeah, like I get it. It's just that it's hard for a lot of people to fathom that a 6th round pick would have this much hype and that a coach would like him that much. But that is a strong statement that if he would have been around, he wouldn't have made it to the 6th round.
Yeah, I think so too.
And the thing about it is that if I remember correctly, Howard was projected to be a 4th round pick, wasn't he?
There were people who had him that high. I kind of always had him in that 6th, 7th round range. I'd said during that I don't know, probably around this time last year, I thought he was going to be in the 6th, 7th round range. Then I kind of wondered if he would be pushed up because of the playoff. I mean, he performed so well in that college football playoff that I thought maybe he might go higher. He kind of ended up where I had him all along, though. But there were people talking about, watch the Tennessee game, the placement on the ball in the Tennessee game, especially that one was like ridiculous, that they thought he would go in the 4th round because of that playoff run, really.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who liked him. There's a lot of people who were really down on him. So,
yeah, some of it's just
McCarthy definitely, obviously liked him though.
Yeah. All right. Last thing that he this was off camera that he talked about, which really is a big deal because it really gives us some insight to what he is looking for in this draft at quarterbacks. So I'm going to get into that now and show this, put every slide up. So this is what he had to say after they stopped videoing when someone was talking to him about quarterbacks, what he's looking into. He said, "I'm hopeful there will be a quarterback there at the right time for us we can add to our roster. We know where we play and we know how we want to play." He said, "I had to change going from Green Bay, Wisconsin to Dallas, Texas, on the expectations of how I think I can play with a quarterback, as opposed to how I know I can play." Then he said, "Granted, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers are Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but they both have long arms. They both have 10-inch hands. If you win playoff games, win in December, Ben Roethlisberger was the same way. Your guy has got to throw the ball better than the other guy in big games." He continued to say, "So when you go from that to down to Dallas, you can play a little more wide open at home. Now I'm back in Pittsburgh. So a lot of my beliefs and how I want to train the team, what the team's going to look like, it's very similar to my time in Green Bay. And that reflects how I evaluate the quarterbacks. So really how I've always viewed the quarterbacks." And finally, he said, "It's what are you into? Because you've got a lot of guys in the league that are probably 6 foot that probably, in the old days would not get drafted or be late picks. They're going in the 1st or 2nd round. That's part of it. The rules of the game have changed. The quarterbacks run. It's really how do you want to play? What do you look for in a quarterback?" Man. So now we have the build that he's looking for.
Yeah, he pretty much laid it out exactly. I mean, he knows what he wants. He's going to find what he wants, and it starts to explain some of the pro day visits and some of the guys that have been rumored to the team. But I'll tell you one thing: Ty Simpson doesn't fit any of that build.
No, he does not.
Anywhere. So, like everybody who's had conversations in the past about Ty Simpson being the 1st round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think Mike McCarthy just told you to pound salt because he ain't drafting Ty Simpson. A slender, shorter, doesn't have the arm length, doesn't have the hand size that McCarthy's looking for. Ty Simpson's not the pick.
I got it right here. I mean, his hand size is 9 3/8. So it's not like he's close to 10. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
Arm 30 7/8 in the 22 percentile. That's small.
Yep.
And 6'1". So,
yep.
I mean, that's really it. His wingspan is 75 5/8, 44 percentile.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, it rules out Ty Simpson. Now, if you want to get into other guys, and we got time. Nussmeier. So Nussmeier, he's 6'2". His arm is 30 3/8. So he's even worse. He's
Mhm.
in the 13th percentile. His hands 9 1/8.
Yeah.
So
that's
he's
well.
in the that disqualifies him, right? I mean,
Yep.
in my view. Let's go down. I mean, we can go down the list, man. Now Carson Beck. Here's where I get worried, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 6'5", hands is 10 on the dot, and his arms is 30 and 5/8, 17 percentile. So, but he's got the hands, he's got the height, so it kind of does scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going down the list, man. Cade Klubnik. Let's see here. Height 6'2", hands 9 1/4, arms 31 1/8, 27 percentile. So, Drew Aller, which, Drew Aller is 9 7/8, so it's close. It's close.
Pretty much right there. Yep.
6'5", and his arms are 32 3/4, 69 percentile. So he's got the arms, he's damn near got the hands, and he's definitely got the height.
Well, the good thing about this is he also said you've win the big games. So that eliminates Aller right there because he's never won a fucking big game in his life.
All right, Ohio State, calm down. Let's take it easy. Take it easy. All right. Moving on. Taylon Green. Height 6'6", arm 34 3/4, 97 percentile. Hands is 9 7/8, so it's almost 10 as well. So late round.
He's got a visit.
And he's got a visit scheduled. Yep. Just dropped today. Top 30 visit. So yeah, sounds like they definitely are interested. Next, Cole Payton. Let's see. Cole Payton, height 6'3", hands 10 1/4, arms 31 5/8, so 39 percentile. So not arms a little smaller, but not quite as bad. He's almost right there in the middle mark. Yeah. So I don't think that really disqualifies him too much either. I mean, if you want to, I can bring up Sawyer Robinson for Somber. Isn't that Somber's boy?
Kind of. It sounds like he's kind of falling off on him though.
But 6'4", hands 9 3/8, that's 39 percentile. Arms 32 1/8, that's 53 percentile. So he's close.
He's close
as well, minus the hands. But yeah, dude, like that really. I mean, that puts what Drew Aller, Taylon Green, Cole Payton, and Carson Beck.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So to me, that's all, in my opinion, that's all day 3 guys, even though I have a hunch they're going to take Aller at 99. But minus that, to me, that's all day 3 guys.
Should all be day 3 guys. Should all be. Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Now I want to. I gotta look at Mendoza real quick.
They're going to take a swing on somebody in this draft. It's just a matter of which round.
Yeah, Mendoza's in the 45 percentile, hands 9.5, 6'5" height though, arm 31 8, 46, so almost half. So he's almost there minus the hands. But yeah, man. So now we have an idea of they're definitely looking for. He likes big quarterbacks, and they're looking for AFC North quarterbacks. So guys that play winter weather.
Yep.
That narrows us down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
which Carson Beck doesn't really fit that part. His size does, but he's not. He's been a South guy, Georgia, and then Miami.
But that just makes me feel better about Simpson. That's who it makes me feel better about. Okay, they're not really going to go after him.
Sid's going back.
They're not interested.
Sid's getting back into rare form now.
Yeah, there he is. Car flipping Tiger Woods. Oh, geez.
And he wants to call baby Hans Pickett and buy him a beer. Oh, Sid. That's awesome.
You got anything else to add to that? Maybe
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I mean it's McCarthy knows what he wants. That's obvious. That's apparent. I think to sum it up, the Will Howard stuff is probably a little overblown, but it's real. Like there's a real interest there. And then, we're going to take a swing at a quarterback, but it looks like they're going to be a day 3 pick, which I'd prefer, honestly.
Right.
I mean, I'd like it to be in the 6th or 7th round, but if you go in the 5th, it's whatever. You miss on 5th round guys all the time anyway. So we've hit on a couple lately in the last couple drafts, but
Honestly,
it's
on the
rare.
4th round pick, like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that's why I prefer to be in that day 3 range somewhere, because we've made too many.
Killing it, bro. Killing it.
Oh, shit.
All right, man. You want to go ahead and take over? We ready to enter the war room?
Let's see who we're about to be talking about. So in case you didn't see the post, which I'm guessing you did or you wouldn't be here, we're going to be talking about Rico Dowdle. So I dug into Rico a little bit, wanted to kind of get to know what this dude's like. We've talked on the podcast a couple of different times now about who's the potential lead back role. Man, the more I watch him, the more I just feel like he is the lead back, and Jalen's going to go right back into the same role that he was in with Najee Harris, which I'm completely fine with. And I think it fits what the team is going to do really well with. Split carries. You might see 60-40 in favor of Rico. But I mean, 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He wasn't even technically the lead back in Carolina. I mean, you had Chuba Hubbard, who, he had some injuries, and when he was injured, Rico played very well. I mean, he had a couple of down games, but I mean, I tried to pick a couple of games to go through in this to look at, a Miami defense that wasn't great, but they weren't terrible against the run. Picked them out against the Packers, because the Packers actually were pretty solid defense last year, and they were pretty good against the run as well. Wanted to see what he did against a couple of these teams, see how he runs the ball, what the running style is. And I think a lot of people, and even McCarthy talked about this in his press conference, was that he has 2 similar backs. Jalen and Rico both can run hard. I think there's enough similarities to say, yeah, they're similar backs, but there's definitely some differences I picked up on with Rico that it really intrigued me. So I'm excited to dive into this. Do you have anything you want to add before we actually pull the film?
Just that the whole comment about, two of these guys being essentially the same. I don't. Do you feel like one's more of a bruiser and the other is more, would I say, finesse? Would that be the word?
Yep. I think they both have tendencies where they do run hard. I think there's plays where you see Jalen and he does run hard, and he hits hard when he gets into the secondary, especially. He lowers the shoulder and tries to finish runs. I think Rico does that on every snap. It's not situational. Like, I think Jalen has a little bit more of that wiggle in his game where he wants to kind of bounce away from tacklers and use his mobility. And he has that like thing where he like turns sideways, which kind of drives me crazy. But he tries to like get skinny at times to get through a hole instead of like lowering the shoulder to barrel through the hole, which I think is where you're going with that.
There's a time and place. He needs to know when to do that.
Yes. Rico does not look for any wiggle. You're getting hit. You're getting hit. There's no 2 ways about it. And I spelled that out.
Do you know how many fumbles Rico had in 25? Did you happen to see that anywhere? I was just curious. I didn't see it on the thing. I was trying to figure out. I was just curious because I know that sometimes Warren's kind of got that. I don't want to say reputation, but like there are worries you fumble the ball if he's leaned on too much. That's why I've always speculated that they never let him be the lead back role, like the bell cow, because of the fact Tomlin would worry so much about him fumbling. But some people say that it's not really a thing.
I'm looking right now.
But I was just curious if Dowdle is really good at protecting the football or not. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll want to make him the lead back or not. But 3 1,000-yard seasons back to back to back is pretty good. So, I would not. I would not have a problem with it. I'll say that much.
Well, I'm not seeing his advanced rushing stats because it's
That's all
not
right.
showing
I was just
the
curious.
fumbles on either of the charts that I have pulled up right now.
It's not that big of a deal, dude.
I don't have
curious.
But I think there was a couple times he put it on the ground, but I don't think it was like a significant issue of any sort. So,
it says here.
All right, man. You ready to dive into the film?
I got it right here. It says he had 2 fumbles, losing one of them. So he's only had 1 lost fumble.
Okay. Yeah,
as long
that's not bad.
As long as Google's telling the truth. So, all right, I'm ready. Go ahead, man. As long as Google's telling the truth. All right.
As long as Google's telling the truth, that's all that matters.
Yes.
All right. Let me pause this and get back to where. Let's set this play up. So first thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit of like, you're not going to see Rico playing like we did with Kenneth Gainwell. He's not a receiving back. If you want to see the entirety of his receiving capabilities, we're going to set this play up with twins at the top of the screen. They're going to bring a tight end down in motion here. And you're just going to see him run a little flare out of the backfield. They go straight to the check down. And he still runs hard after the catch. But that's kind of it. You're not going to see him lining up out of the slot a lot. And the other thing is Carolina didn't really keep him into block very much because he's not a great blocker, which I'll highlight
that's where
later. And that's why I also feel very strongly about the fact that Jaylen Warren, like if you get Jaylen Warren out of the backfield in these situations, like you can do more with him. Obviously that play was designed to have a flare out of the backfield, which that's fine. You're going to have those plays. I mean, it was a nice little outlet for Bryce Young. He got rid of the ball to him quickly. It ends up being a nice gain, keeps him kind of ahead of the sticks. Those things are great. And Rico can do some of that. So even like I've heard some people make the argument that he's limited to only being an early down back because of the limitations in the passing game. But I mean, if it's a little flare route like that or a screen pass or some of those things, like he can handle those duties. It's not like the dude has bricks in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just flip it out there to him and let him make something out of nothing. And that's exactly what they did on the first one.
McCarthy did McCarthy make the comment though that he's got 2-3 down backs? I thought he said something.
That's what he said. Exactly.
So he feels that way, but we'll see.
Second play here. They're going to start this out with 12 personnel on the field. You've got 2 tight ends here. On the pre-snap, they're going to bring one of those tight ends down here in motion. And then you're going to see as the snap, the other tight end's going to come across. And right here, you can see that play was designed to head to the right. But do you see Bradley Chubb? He blows this thing up. You can obviously tell that he just gets inside too quickly. Dowdle adapts, cuts back to the other side, and then just tries to drive forward with as much as he possibly has. Now, that's the problem with sometimes Jaylen does a great job of things. Kenny Gainwell, I thought a lot of times tried to avoid too much contact, and we missed plays like this right here. Again, look where Bradley Chubb is.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. Now that if he held the block right there, you can see the plays designed where you've got the guard and the center on a double team. It looks like it's probably a duo right there where the guard's going to end up climbing up to that safety. But Bradley Chubb just blows this thing up. So what's Rico do? I'm just going to go to the left because I can see a hole. So this is vision here, right?
Yeah,
this is vision.
Yeah.
As you see this play out, all right, get upfield, get as much as I possibly can out of that.
Yeah.
I know that's a small run. It's not anything huge, but it's something that at times we missed. And if you think back to the role of Najee and Jaylen, Najee didn't see that hole. He'd have ran head first straight into Bradley Chubb, right? So we're going to see something different.
First thing I thought was vision. Like, holy shit. Like, he really knew to cut left and go and get what he could. Like, that was really good.
And here's the other thing. So the first thing that popped in my head when I saw this is no wasted motion. And you're going to hear a little bit of that over and over again, I think, as you start looking and digging in to Rico Dowdle. So you're going to see them lined up here in another 12 personnel. The play is going to end up going up to the top of the screen on the right side of the formation inside the B gap. Rico shoots through this thing. So just watch this play unfold. Going to bring the receiver in motion. They pull a tight end back across the kick out Chubb.
Yep.
Now you can see Rico identifies there's a hole right away. No wasted motion. We're just going to hit that hole hard.
Yep.
And then again, just finishing the run. That's a great thing. I love that. So if you watch it from the other side, is Chubb still a free agent? I thought Bradley Chubb. Did he sign somewhere?
Little said no. I thought he went somewhere. I just can't remember where.
Yeah, I don't either. If you watch it from this angle, you can see like the slightest hesitation. See 25 right here. He's trying to read where Rico's going. Rico's already dialed into where that hole should be. And the pulling tight end, the pulling tight end back across is what holds that linebacker. See him get, now you've got the center who climbs up and grabs him. Rico now identifies that and just boom, just shoots through the hole.
Yeah.
No wasted motion, no dancing around. He's not trying to make something out of nothing. He just shoots in there as quickly as possible. I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
No, that's great. Yeah, God, Najee was so freaking bad.
When you watch it, didn't you sit back and think, oh my God, Najee never would have hit these holes. He never would have made it there.
Well, Najee just would have been a battering ram. He'd have just put his head down and ran into the guy and hoped to carry him another 3 yards.
Yes.
So it's nice here to see the vision and to know it, just hit the hole quick and go. Like, it's really nice to see with someone.
Yeah, I saw somebody say that Rico's not that fast. He ran like a 4.51, and you can see the play speed looks like he's got plenty of play speed.
It's what I've always liked about Warren. He was always north to south. Like he didn't play games. Like he'd get the ball and go. Like he didn't fuck around back there. Like that was what I liked about Warren. So it's good to see that we are getting somebody that's just like that.
Yep. So on this play here, there was a false start penalty right before this play. So this is actually on a 2nd and long. And Bradley Chubb went to the Bills.
Yep. And then said will not forgive Tomlin Kahn. He's not going to get Derrick Henry before the Redbirds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So on this one, they're going to come out. They have 11 personnel, twins at the bottom of the screen on the weak side of the formation here. And what you're going to see on this play is you're going to see a pulling guard coming from the bottom side of the formation here up toward the top of the screen. Okay. And watch how this play unfolds. So here goes the pulling guard, the kick out right there. Again, no wasted motion. He makes just a slight wiggle. He is not trying to break ankles. He's just trying to get enough to get this thing. And instead of being in a 2nd and 15 going into a long 3rd down, because he stays north and south, this ended up being like a 3rd and inches. I mean, that's huge. That is huge in trying to keep momentum and sticks going. And I think as I kept watching that game, I think they ended up scoring on that drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So I only bring that up because if he doesn't make that run right there, they don't score on that drive, right? You don't convert 3rd and long very often. So this is going to be flipped over. This is the Packers game in those god-awful throwback uniforms that I really don't like, but some people love. So I figured since they're already embarrassed on the field enough, I'm going to embarrass them even more with film. So on this one, the Panthers come out in a 12 personnel set, and it's an even formation right now. And what you're going to end up seeing on this one, they're going to pull the guard from the bottom side of the screen and the tight end. And I want to have everybody watch the top side of the screen to watch how this play unfolds, because this shows patience right here. So you're going to see both guards pulling, and you see the guard and the tackle from the other side of the screen. I wish I had an arrow to point on this stuff because I'm doing it with no one able to see me. But you can see them starting to climb. The guard's getting ready to kick out the edge, and then the tight end is going to fill inside the hole right here.
See how that is
go
in there. Yeah.
Yep. So you got the kick out. The tight end's going up. Rico is going to trust his blockers and follow that tight end right up the hole. Tight end does a nice job of turning the guy out. Rico just trusts those blocks, follows right through, and then look at the finish. That's what I liked about the run too, is it's not just that he does this. And he watched the patience at first when he kind of lets these guys go. The hesitation, there's the patience, and then he explodes.
See that view there, you can see there's just a slight crease, but from the side view, it looks like that's going to be dead on arrival. And he pops and gets you like how many yards? I mean, that's the thing is seeing that crease, but from the side view, it looks like there's nothing. And bang, there he is getting like how many yards on that carry. It's pretty good.
I love that he finishes runs the way he finishes runs too. Like there's two defenders in front of him. Some of these guys will try to like juke everybody and then they don't. He lowers the shoulders and tries to go forward. He got like an extra 1.5 yards, 2 yards by just doing that instead of playing the game. So I love the way he finishes.
Like what Vaughn's saying here, he trusts his blocks. There's not a lot there, but he hit the hole hard. And that time he got skinny. That was where he got skinny.
He did. So, and he'll do it again in another clip that I have here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm loving it. It looks great. It really does.
This play here shows incredible patience. There's nowhere to go on this play. This was a really good run.
Yes, they are, Vaughn.
So here you go. Look at this. You got the edge coming off untouched.
Yeah, he's
the
there.
Tight end is coming over to pick him up.
Late.
The center is jammed full of people. So Rico is jumping over to the right side there. Okay, now look what the tight end does. Okay, now the tight end squared up with this guy, but the linebacker is still untouched, and he's watching Rico. There's nowhere for Rico to go at this point. He's going to jump outside. Now look, the tight end continues to drive his block. Rico sees that, shoot the hole.
Wow.
Now wait till you see the other angle of this. There is nowhere to go on this play. This was an incredible play. And you see on the right side of the screen right now, that's Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary is a very solid to good run defender for that team. He's the unblocked guy coming up. Yeah. You got Edgerrin Cooper right in the middle. You got Quay Walker is the untouched linebacker who just signed a big deal with the Raiders this offseason. He's obviously thought of as a highly, Kubiak's, right. He saw his Seattle defense play well. He went after this guy. Again, watch this unfold. So you get the tackle with a nice down block, right? But Rashawn Gary Rico is dead to rights right here.
Yeah, I don't.
Look where the tight end is, and look where Gary is. They have an equal path to Rico Dowdle right now. Like,
Jesus.
He jumps to the right there. That little jump to the right there gives the tight end enough time to come get Rashawn Gary. And now, because Gary was in chase mode, he stood up. So Gary's getting driven. You can see him trying to throw the tight end off to the side. Quay Walker, again, he's untouched. There's no one to block him there. He gets him to jump to the outside, and look at this.
He literally just juked left, juked right, and made it work, and then hurry up and got up the field.
Gone. Wow. That's like not only is that patience to allow your blockers to get into place, which a lot of young running backs struggle with at the NFL level. They want everything because it seems faster to them. They just want to go. Rico has that veteran presence where he understands if I have a little patience and if I make enough just to let my blocks get there and trust them. Again, it came down to trust. He trusted the tight end to pick up an edge player and then drive him backwards. And he did it. So I love that play. That was by far my favorite play that I watched.
For sure.
So on this play here, they're going to come out in a trips look at the top of the screen. This is a little toss play. So we've seen some toss plays at Pittsburgh. I don't know if McCarthy's going to bring a lot of toss plays, but it's very possible. I know they did some of that in Green Bay. I honestly cannot remember if that was when LaFleur got there or if that was when
we prefer
McCarthy
to do it with CFAT. And
or
Najee
Harris,
but I don't know. Maybe we'll bring it back with guys that actually have some speed, But yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you're going to see the tackle on the top of your screen this time. He's going to actually pull out in front, and again, this is another one of those plays where Rico shows what he does best. So they bring the guy in motion here. They pull the tackle. Rico sees a lane. He's like, I'm not following the tackle. I'm just hitting the lane and getting upfield. This ends up being a huge gain.
quick.
I mean, this is another. This is vision. He hits the holes hard. He does not waste a lot of movements. He just goes. You can see the linebackers moving because of that pre-snap, and he just says, "Okay, well, you know what? This dude's turned around. I'm just going to hit it."
He saw that one defensive player had his back to him and said, "Fuck it, I'm taking that lane." If you go back, watch the one defensive player.
Right?
A little further.
Where 18 is, see where 18 is the guy the receiver has ahead of him. I can't see who that is. I don't know if that's Ted McMillan.
Watch right.
18, it's the guy 18 ends up blocking right there.
Right there. Yep, look at that.
The back is turned.
Back to him, and he was like, I see the lane, bang, I'm gone. I'll go right behind that guy.
You see a combo block up in the top of the screen there around the whatever that is, the 30-yard line, 33-yard line. You think ideally you follow the tackle who's getting ready to go crash down on this corner on the outside, but again, like you just said, he sees the defender with the back turn, the safety clearly over pursued, right? Because he sees the pulling tackle too. So he over pursues. And this is vision. Rico's like, whoa, shit, why go outside? Boom. You can see he's trust his speed. He saw the vision. He knew that guy couldn't turn around to make the tackle. And the safety's screwed right here.
Yep.
Like he over pursued.
It's over.
He's gone. The combo blocked working up ahead. There's nothing to do there. And that's just, I mean, and then I love this. How many running backs run out of bounds right there at that point?
I was just thinking that.
I ain't doing that. 3 more yards.
That's all I ever see these running backs and wide receivers do now is just run out of bounds. That is so awesome to see.
He does not do that. So, as mentioned earlier, he is not good in pass pro. We're going to give a little bit of an example of this.
All right.
Here comes the receiver motion, and you're going to see Rico, and I think this is Rashawn Gary again.
And
it's not great effort. I mean, listen, he did it enough. I don't know if he's just
really low.
I don't know if he's just trusting that Bryce Young's getting rid of this thing, but if not,
that was great.
I mean,
he's like,
oh, that was not great effort. Also, not great effort by Bryce Young throwing an easy touchdown. However, he does redeem himself 2 plays later.
Oh, okay.
This is 2 plays later on the same drive. So you can see them at the 5-yard line here. And I think he needs to learn from Warren. And this is another play where he does get skinny, where you talked about that earlier. This is that play where he does get skinny. So they're going to bring the guy in motion down here. And right here, you're going to see number 0 is pulling in toward the middle.
Okay.
It's a toss. 0's coming to get this backside guy. Rico sees that.
Unblocked up the middle, though.
Unblocked. And then look who's coming after him on the other side. That's Micah Parsons. So you got an interior guy destroying his block. You got Micah Parsons coming off the edge. And again, you got to trust that guy is coming across to get the other guy on the backside.
He pulls this off right now?
Look at the move. Way. He slides himself right past the interior D-line. Gets skinny right here, and then watch.
Holy shit, dude.
Watch the other angle. It looks worse from this angle.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell he did that.
So again, you're going to see pressure up the middle. All right. This is a toss. Okay. You see everybody trying to down block to that left side. So this clearly was designed to come back to the side that he ends up going to. But right here, again, I mean, look at this. Right up the freaking middle, you've got a dude who's a monster just absolutely ripping through his block right here.
Yep.
Parsons coming off the edge. And if there's a guy who can catch a quick back off the edge, Micah Parsons, a guy who can catch a quick back off the edge. And at this point, that tight end is still a good 1.5 yards away from finishing his block. And he looks like he's more likely to take a shit right now than finish the block the way he's crouched down, right? I mean,
he's looking like he's about to get ran over.
Look at that. That's quickness. Like he contorts his body in a way where he tries to get out of the reach. I think the guard did get away with a little bit of a hold there, and then just boom, finish.
That's impressive.
I mean,
that's
impressive. I started watching. I was really happy about what I saw from Rico.
Yeah, dude. That is I had a feeling that he's a good back, like just purely going off stats. But damn, to see some of that on film, holy shit, that's pretty impressive. The thing too though is that like I know that we're thinking he's not going to be a pass pro guy or he's not really a receiving guy, but I mean like he still put up 297 yards receiving.
Oh yeah,
compared to Gainwell's 486, just for comparison.
yeah.
So it's not like he's not like a never going to be a guy you can use in the passing game. Like he can be used. It's just that Warren can be a real weapon. Like Warren in the passing game. I still think of that Seattle game where they did that dump off to him and he damn near took it to the house, or I think he did maybe. So that's why, and plus the pass pro, of course. But I
picked a really shitty rep. Obviously, I didn't like.
Oh yeah, but I get your. I get what you're saying. You're not going to get what we got with Gainwell. That's not happening. That's gone. And I get that. But I also want people to understand that like it's not like it's completely over. Like he can be used if need be. Like say Warren gets injured or say whatever. Just he can still be used in it. And McCarthy's going to draw up something for him. So
yes.
I mean, we're talking about going from, Carolina to McCarthy. I would like to think can dial some things up for him to be, used if he wants to in the passing game.
Yeah, I think he can absolutely those little flare routes. Yeah, he could do that. Those angle routes out of the backfield that these guys do, he could do something like that pretty effortlessly. I think he's fine there. You're just not going to get what you got out of Gainwell. You're not lining this dude up in the slot and asking him to run routes. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, he's not a great guy in pass pro, but he's not a total liability in pass pro either. Right. I was more or less highlighting some of the things to why I think that he's the lead back and Jalen is the third down, like back who's still going to get a lot of touches. More so than I was like totally knocking what Rico does. Cause also if Rico can run that way in our offense, I mean, that's huge production for your lead back. And it puts Jalen in a great spot to do what he does best. And it saves Jalen from injury. Like I've always worried that Jalen could be a guy who gets injured. I like him in those situational roles where he takes advantage of what he's really, really good at.
And just for those curious, Warren had 333 yards receiving this past season. So just a little bit more than Dowdle, but not too much. So yeah, I don't know, man. I tend to agree with McCarthy. I think he definitely's got a one to two headed monster, if you will, that they can utilize. So but watching this film now, man, it makes me really like Dowdle even more than I did before.
He's more patient than I thought at times. I mean, I highlighted a lot of plays where he hits the hole hard and goes, but I also highlighted a couple different plays where he has patience and he, understands how to set up blockers and then trust the blockers to get through the hole. I mean, a lot of us watched Le'Veon when he played and what was he best at? I mean, just being so patient back there and allowing the blocks
and the vision
to work.
It's the same thing. It's the patience, the vision, and knowing when to hit the hole. And it seems like, Dowdle is kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Is he going to turn into Saquon Barkley overnight? No, but I think he's going to be a better back than he's probably being talked about in Pittsburgh right now. I don't know if people think he's going to be as good as what I think he is, because he's going to be a really solid running back for us, and I really like he and Warren being together. I think it's going to be great for our offense.
Yeah, no, this definitely got me even more excited about the potential of both of them. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you showing this because now I'm even more excited about it. Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you before we get off of here too. Another thing that McCarthy had said was, did you see the part where he talked about wanting to hire his coaches to where it would fit with the locker room?
Yeah, kind of.
Like it was really important to him to make sure, like when he hires a coaching staff, that it'll fit and it'll go together really well with the locker room. I thought that was very interesting that like
Yep.
there are certain coaches that maybe he thought would not be a good fit in that Steelers locker room. And I wonder what went into that.
Yeah, I think there was that part of the same clip where he talked about like I hired Patrick Graham because I knew what I was getting out of him. I knew how his personality was because they had a run in somewhere too. He was very familiar with Patrick Graham, obviously, and then how he thought Patrick Graham could utilize the strengths of what this defense should be and how he fit. That was all same clip, I think, right?
It was.
And then
he had a 30-minute interview with all of the Pittsburgh reporters. It was like a breakfast interview thing.
Yeah.
And that was at the beginning of the interview where he started talking about their process and like how they want to, develop a winning, culture with his way, and bringing in the right guys to fit with that locker room is very important. Just like bringing in the right players to fit in that locker room. And I just wanted to bring that up to you because I just wanted to get your take on that. Like if you thought like there are just certain guys that, because, we talked Monday about, Capers and the whole, there was no room apparently on the coaching staff, or what if he just said that because he didn't think Capers would fit that locker room? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like I wonder if
question.
maybe if that went into that, maybe, and that's why he was like, oh, sorry, we don't, we're all stocked up here, thanks. But,
maybe I never thought about that. That's interesting.
So I do wonder if like those kind of things happened where there's the guys that maybe we thought they should try to bring in, but maybe he didn't feel like it would just fit with the locker room.
Yeah, and he also talked throughout that process too about like he has to have a level of trust in some of these guys, right? Like so he trusts Patrick Graham to be able to run that defense because he's not going to be in those meetings all that often. He's going to be in the quarterback room meetings and the offensive meetings because he's going to be calling the plays, right? So he has to be on the same page, obviously, with his quarterbacks and with the offense. And then vice versa, he talked also about how he actually really trusts and believes in Brian Angelichio as an offensive guy because they have to be on the same page. He talked very heavily about that too, where they have to be on the same page because on the other side of that, if he needs to be in the defensive rooms, where somebody's got to be able to pick this up and run with it, right? Like somebody has to pick that offensive stuff up and run with it. If he's stepping out of one meeting to get over to the other meeting, he's got to trust that offensive coordinator to be able to do those things. And I thought that was quite interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just thought that was interesting, like how he said that. And I wanted to get your take on it. Got my dog right next to the door. But
it's very smart though, for real. Like I think it's a very smart move to try to make sure that, especially taking a new regime taking over, like it makes sense to make sure you've got the right people in place to where this thing's going to run as smooth as possible.
Right, because you got to think we're talking about 19 years of a Mike Tomlin culture and how it's so, best friends-ish coaching staff mentality, and the culture built there was, we love you, we care about you, and all that stuff, as opposed to more, we're going to let you run the practices, basically letting, how's it go? The wolves in charge of the hen house or whatever, mentality, and how there was a lack of discipline there. And it was constantly bringing up the practices, right? About how there's just not enough emphasis on focusing on the practices. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, because you didn't really have the coaches stepping up to enforce it. And now you have a new guy coming in that has to change that whole culture that, hey, that shit's over with, man. Now we have extra coaches. We're going to enforce things. We're going to have you on a schedule. You're not going to be running this anymore. This isn't the players are in charge of practice anymore. The fucking coaches are. So I just thought it was interesting that he's trying to mesh that with what has been going on in that Steelers locker room.
Yeah.
And that's why he completely said goodbye to everyone on the Tomlin coaching staff. Was there I think he kept one, right?
Tom Arth. Yeah.
Arth, right? Yeah. I mean, that's it. And we even talked about the speculation is it's all about trust. So it's funny that he says that now and admits it. He admitted so much stuff this week.
He did.
That I didn't see coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the thing about McCarthy, is that he was just so open about so many things. And you're just like, bro, like, you're actually saying this. Like, okay.
There's no Tomlinism. It was just a straightforward, open
Yes.
transparent answer.
There, there was no, we're going to squash grapes or whatever.
Yes.
Paint the barn red or whatever the fuck. You're like, like, what the fuck? He was just like, yeah, this is my process. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking for in a quarterback. This is, and you're just like, holy shit. Oh, okay. Now we have the blueprint. We know what they're looking for. Like it's but a lot more open than we're used to. And you almost go, was that a little too open? Maybe a little too open.
Why? Maybe he doesn't give the word salad because he finished eating the salad. I don't know.
He ate the salad bar. He ate the whole salad bar.
He ate the whole you-can-eat salad bar. But yeah, going back to your point about the trust in like the players not running the practices anymore, it was interesting because I caught a piece of like where the Pat McAfee interview, Pat actually like asked something similar to that. And I can't remember the exact quote, but he basically asked him like, hey, are you going to lean on these guys like TJ and Cam Hayward and Jalen Ramsey and players like that to install your culture here? And he was more or less like, no, I hired my guys because we're going to install the culture is more or less what he didn't say it like that, but that's how I took the answer was like, fuck no, the players aren't, installing the culture. Like they already have a culture here, but I'm here to install my culture.
Right.
Like this is my culture now. Like, and it was a totally different answer than I think what you would have heard Tomlin say, which I was like,
and that's why I'm like, hello, that's the problem. Like, that's literally the problem. That's what needs to be changed. So, yeah, no, I just
I'm gonna be honest for a second. The more he talks, the more I like him.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like he's just so honest, and it just doesn't feed you so much bullshit. Nope, I mean, even the Aaron Rodgers thing. I mean, it was kind of funny. Like when he looked at Pat McAfee and started chuckling, it was just like we got a lot of positive conversations. And he started laughing. And it was just like, bro, you're literally basically admitting that Aaron Rodgers is coming back without admitting it. Like that was that was the funniest shit ever. Because he just looked at McAfee and smiled and it was good. It was great. It was good television. I'll put it that way.
If you play poker, invite him over because he can't lie for shit. That's the other thing I learned about it. It's like, you're gonna know when McCarthy's bluffing because he flat out will just kind of like giggle at you. Like,
it was like, it was. I don't know. It was just funny. Getting to listen to him talk this much. I'm waiting for the Steelers to be like, all right, Mike, let's dial it back the interviews. let's go ahead and take a break.
We're gonna keep you from the McAfee show for a little while, and we're gonna need you to hide out a little bit, at least till the draft, so we can maybe get some of these guys we want before you tell the world who we're after.
Yeah. So is there, in my head, I don't know the schedule. Like, is there any we got a lot more pro days coming down the pipe still, or most of them done already, or because
I think there's I don't have the schedule either. And I know Dave had kind of gone over it in one of the other shows. I think that it's pretty much wrapping up for the most part because you're going to have the draft and then these kids are going to start diving into playbooks and diving into like training and knowing where they're going. And I don't think there's too many pro days left at this point because they're pretty much wrapped up. I think they typically want these pro days to be wrapped up a few weeks before the draft just because they, by that point, teams are really wanting to have their big board solidified. They're going to want their targets solidified. They kind of want to know who they're going after. And free agency is kind of like going to be dead from now until after the draft at this point. So I think they're pretty well done.
Okay. All right. Well, you got anything else before we go?
Nope. I think we're going to start diving back into this a little bit more and making this a little bit more of a regular segment.
Yeah, dude, I love when you do the film sessions. I think they're great. I think they're very educational, and I think it's good for everybody to see these type of things. I really do. And I think it helps everybody learn a little bit about football as well, or at least it helps me. Guys, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscriptions. We're trying to get it by the draft. Get the word out, please, that we're looking to get some subs. We're going to be adding, we're thinking about adding a draft segment to every show since you guys really seem to enjoy the draft stuff. That's one thing we're talking about. I'm going to start looking into maybe even coming out with newer shows as we get further down the year to replace other things, just to, freshen it up a little bit, if you will. But please subscribe. We appreciate you guys in the chat. You're amazing. All right, guys, take care. We're out.
Just like that, I left everything. I dropped out of high school. See ya! I said goodbye to my girlfriend. See ya! And I left my family.